I got my bag.
No, you're fine.
All right, I'd like to bring the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting for March 10th, 2025 to order, please. May we please have a roll call?
Yes, Craig? Here. Becky? Here. Ross?
Here.
Barry?
Here.
Joyce?
Here.
And David?
Here.
All's present.
Wonderful, David.
Lord, thank you for the beautiful day you provide us for, Lord. You give us the wonderful sunshine and the warmth. And Lord, be with our village tonight. Be with our council. Be with our mayor, our law protection, and our fire protection, our EMTs, Lord. And be with our country, Lord, as these times seems like they never end with something happening across the world. And Lord, we know you provide for us all. In Jesus' wonderful, wonderful name, amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. May I please have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the council meeting held on February the 24th, 2025?
You have that motion?
David? Is there a second? Thank you, Ross.
Okay, roll call.
Yep.
All right, that was David. Second was by Ross. Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
All right, Mayor's report. Hopefully you've seen our village workers out and about throughout the village. Weather is breaking. We have done a major amount of pothole patching, water and sewer line services, and continue to do that throughout the spring. I just am so thankful when the sun came out this morning and it was 63 degrees today. It means just so much to actually be able to spend quality time outside doing the stuff that really needs to be done. So I will continue to keep updating council on progress as that happens. If obviously there's things that we need to be doing, you let me know and we'll start tackling them. So that's my abbreviated short end report for tonight. I've got some other comments when it comes to committee updates. President Pro Tem Joyce.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It certainly is a beautiful day today, and it looks like we're in for a beautiful week. I welcome the warm weather, the sunny weather. I hope everyone has an opportunity to get outside and enjoy it. We're glad to hear great reviews of the businesses that are opening now for breakfast. Sounds like we have 2 or 3 additional places, and great service, great food, excellent prices, excellent food. So that is really good to hear for our village. Don't forget this weekend, we have a lot of events going on with the Spring Fling this Saturday. We have the spring market and the shop hops going on. The village should be packed full of events. We hope you all come out and join us and visit all of our shops and local vendors set up throughout the village. That's about all I have for now. I'll turn it back over to you, Mayor.
Thank you. That's set to be a great event. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
All right, we do have public comments and a visitor tonight. So would Mr. Steve Craig please come on down?
If you could please state your first and last name again and where you reside at.
Stephen R. Craig. I reside at 12845 Foster Edmond Road, Mount Sterling, Ohio. And any other information you needed?
Nope, you're good.
That's it?
No
Okay.
blood, no DNA or anything like that.
Okay. I was here quite a long time ago asking for support for Meals on Wheels, so that's why I came back again tonight. I want to thank David for inviting me to tonight's meeting. I have 3 requests this evening. My first 2 requests are for Meals on Wheels. I've been a volunteer driver for Mount Sterling, in London routes since October of 2018. Meals on Wheels is a part of Life Care Alliance, which has the overall goal of keeping seniors and those with medical challenges or disabilities safe, independent, and living in their own homes right where they want to be. So my first request is to let everyone know that Meals on Wheels is available in Mount Sterling, London, and the surrounding communities of Madison County. There are various meal options, hot, cold, or even frozen. And this is the menu. I've got quite a few copies of this, so if anybody wants these, the hot meals is on one side, cold meals on the other. The meals are a lot better than what they used to be. This is a tray. They're not big meals, but most of these people are not going out running 5Ks or anything. They're sitting at home and they don't need anything really big. Just want to let everybody know that that service is available and they can get a hold of Life Care Alliance to sign up for those. My second request is for Meals on Wheels to let everyone know that there is a need for a great community service opportunity. To be a volunteer driver to deliver those meals here in Mount Sterling takes about 1 to 2 hours to complete a route. Now is a great time to get started because we currently only have 4 stops to make on most days. They are delivered on Monday through Friday. The current opening is every other Friday. Mick Phillips down here is very familiar with that because he's doing every other Friday. So I tried twisting his arm a little bit to see if he'd do another Friday, but I'm doing this Friday, so that's part of the reason why I'm here, because we need not only drivers to fill in for that Friday, there's other times when people want a day off, or there's a sickness, or we just don't have any extra volunteers that can pick up the slack. That's currently been me. They are delivered only Monday through Friday. The current opening is, like I said, every other Friday. It is also very helpful to have someone that can fill in, make deliveries when other volunteers need to cancel their scheduled shift. That is a quick summary for Meals on Wheels. Does anybody have any questions about them?
I do. Just for the public's knowledge, in case that, they don't have the phone numbers and things like that, is Meals on Wheels free, or is there charge for that? How does the?
We don't normally get involved in that side of it. They can call up, I've got the number where they can call, or
Can you voice that out, and then I'll make sure?
lifecarealliance.org is the website that they can go to sign up for those meals. I do know that the meals cost $7.50 for those that are self-pay, but I think the majority of the people that are getting them for free. Or there are some people that get them and part of that money is paid for the government. Life Care Alliance is financially pretty good shape.
Okay, that's nice.
Even if the Meals on Wheels budget or money from the federal government is cut out, they're still in pretty good shape because they've got a lot of ties. They do an awful lot of stuff. Their website has a lot of opportunities for different things. Any other questions for Meals on Wheels?
I gotta say this for Steve, though. They all take the time, though, to talk to these people. A lot of them are lonesome, and they'll take the time. You may have to drink a cup of tea with them or something, but it's that connection with the older people. And I'm so glad there's people like Steve and Mick and people that's willing to take the time to do this.
Yeah, absolutely, no question about it. No question.
You just pick
Great
up-
organization.
You just pick up the meals here in Mount, you don't have to go to London or anything. The driver brings them. They're made on Harmon Avenue. He drops the meals off in West Jeff, and then he goes to London at the hospital, and then he comes down here.
Meadowview, is that?
Meadowview is where we pick him up. He's usually there at 11:45. Tomorrow I've done 41 routes, including the routes in London, because
That's amazing.
they have 4 routes in London, so for the 5 days, we need 20 drivers in London. And we're short drivers. I end up doing either 1 or 2 routes. Some days I do 2 routes in London. We go up to Lake Choctaw, we go to Madison Lake, Newport. They even come down to Junk Road, which I haven't figured that one out.
Thank you very much for doing
But the
that.
route here in Mount Sterling is strictly just usually, I have one that goes out of town a little ways. But now's a good time to volunteer and come learn how to do it because you just don't have very many people. And that was the other reason I wanted to come, to let the people in the area know, because I know that there's people. I was talking to a lady at Urban Pineapple, and she said my grandfather or her dad would like to get it. But she hadn't thought about even asking about it. So I'm hoping that this puts that in people's minds so that these people in Mount Sterling that need those meals and can benefit from them or have somebody drop in and see them will be something that people can sign up for.
If they want to call into town hall, we'd be glad. I know Misty.
There's information out in the
Yeah.
lobby, and we have, you've been kind enough to drop off both the menu and informational flyers, so we can get you the info.
Yep.
That is awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I said I had 3 requests. I have one other request that has David involved. My third request is a request to support the Madison South High School Alumni Banquet, which is always the last Saturday of June. David and his brother John have been selected to be the entertainment for this event. To support them, we'd like to be able to use the system that the village uses to present movies at the park each summer. I'm here to see if that support is available. Your support would be greatly appreciated. So
Okay?
I didn't know whether that was an option.
Yeah, like so you're referring to like the blow-up picture?
Right.
And then, like the mic and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'd have to look and see, I'd have to coordinate with John and find out what actually he needs. But they were needing a screen to put stuff up on it, and I thought that came to my mind, because I know I went out there, our church was out there one time and saw the screen, and we have a stage there in the gym at the where the old high school was, that we could put it up on there.
Okay.
It would be great, and, yes.
I have all of that equipment locked up in an office here. I can work with Dave and John if I can get council approval to do that. I can work with them and go through the equipment with them or help them myself,
Okay,
but I'll need council approval to do that. So
Okay.
I can make that motion.
okay.
When is the banquet?
The last Saturday of June.
Okay, we're going to be out of state, so I'll have to work with them. I'm sure John will be okay with it.
John.
Well,
yeah,
it's
John.
Yeah.
if it's the last Saturday, isn't that when you have your movie nights though?
In June?
Yeah.
It is,
Early, that early? Okay.
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
So
The only alternative is if I'd have to ponder over that. I don't want to let down the kids either, so,
Well, let's get a motion to,
let's-
let's go ahead and just start by getting a motion first and then find out, so you're making a motion to do this?
Well, she's saying that she needs to.
I need to figure out when we
Okay.
would do movie
Okay,
night.
all right.
Okay,
That all works, just, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you look at calendars and then we'll get you
Yeah.
organized?
Okay,
okay. I will get with you, get with David and get your phone number.
Okay.
We'll see what we can get worked out. Thank you.
Here's your information right there.
Okay, Steve, thank you very much. We'll see what we can work out.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Stevie.
Keep coming back. We like to hear our Meals on Wheels updates.
Absolutely.
All right, as far as other public comments, Deanna Pettit of the Hammer Time Pub did reach out to me and is requesting council approval for her beer garden this year, which would be held at Summer Jam on the 13th and the 14th of June. Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right.
Okay, so that was Becky. Barry?
Yep.
Okay. And this is just for the beer garden?
Just for the beer garden,
Is it just like last year's?
just like last year's on the 13th to the 14th.
Okay. Roll call? Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Get her organized. Thank you. That ends our public comments section, and we have no executive session tonight. That moves on to department reports. Madison County Sheriff, we don't have a deputy
Andy,
update. We'll do it
I know
next
the
go around.
sheriff isn't here, but I would like to bring up a subject. It's going around the village. I know you talked about slamming the receiver. Well, there's one now of a scam. They're telling people they're behind on their Amazon account. Some people don't even have one, but senior citizens get nervous and thinks they should write a check and send or give out information. Like I always said, when they ring that phone, slam that receiver
Slam
in
that
their ear.
receiver down. That's
And,
right.
but the point of it is going on, and I just want the seniors to know it's a scam.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you see strange people walking door to door here in the village, we do have a permit process. They do have to get approval. You should tell them that. We do. They have to see us in town hall for that approval in order to do that. So if you see somebody scammy, it looks scammy, it probably is scammy. So,
Well, I've seen it, a lot of people were sharing it to me about, a recent, I think Joyce experienced one at her house over the weekend. Always contact the sheriff's department, just, you need to call them. So if we're not here, say it's 7 o'clock at night, the time has changed now, people are visiting people's homes, after they get off of work, because they know they may be there. If you need to, again, you can send us an email. I know I check my email often, Andy does as well. Or communicate with us through Messenger, through Facebook or whatever, through my personal, and we can let you know, because it would have to come here.
yeah, most of the time, these folks do not have any permits.
right.
They're just showing up from Columbus or wherever they come from, and they just decide to go door to door and just
Right.
either don't answer the door or, ask them where their permit is and then slam the door in the face. So
Exactly.
don't let it happen. All right, so that ends that department report. We do not have a law director report. We do not have a building and zoning report. That means we are up to fiscal officer report.
Okay. All right, so is there any questions on the financials that I've sent to you guys? Okay. Okay, so we also will have the bank reconciliation that I'll be passing around for the month of February. There was an adjustment here for $122. That was a return check. That's already been received and corrected. Again, like at the last meeting, I would like to hold some of my comments as far as until the end of March to get past the first quarter. Finance, I don't want to steal any thunder from Joyce, but finance, they were given the same reports. Again, everything, revenues are coming up above budget, which is good. Expenditures are happening. Again, for some unexpected, as we all know, there was a water line break on Jefferson. That was unexpected. There were a few, payments that you guys will notice on your payment reports that are one-time deals, that increase those percentages. So I would say at the end of March, I would really like to give that percentage. Again, year end has been completed, and the Ohio checkbook, give that some time for them to upload it, because all the municipalities in the state of Ohio do upload it once they do their year end. So give that some time before you view that. Again, I encourage anybody, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. We can get those, questions answered for you. Okay, so I would ask for a motion, again, for the January or the February bank reconciliation report, the approval for the appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated report, the cash summary by fund report, the reader report, and the bank reconciliation for 2025.
You have that motion?
Is there a second? Thank you, Craig.
That was David. Craig was second. Okay, roll call. Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
And Craig.
Yes.
Thank you.
And if you could please, there are 3 documents here to sign. Please make sure that you sign all 3 of those.
Okay.
My report's finished.
Thank you. That takes us to committee reports. First one, Finance, Joyce.
Yes, we did meet and we discussed the upcoming water tower project and the financing recommendations. I'm not going to go into detail on that. I think Courtney's going to be talking about that here in just a little bit. We did make a recommendation to council. We are going to be making a recommendation to council. And we discussed the upcoming Spring Street project and the costs on that. So that's going to be starting pretty soon. I think Andy might be talking about that, or Craig in his report. We discussed the financing on that as well. I believe that's all being taken care of with a grant.
Correct.
So that will be no out-of-pocket for, there's no match, so that will be no out-of-pocket for the village. We looked at where we are within the current budget, the percentages that you just referred to. We reviewed all the reports. I'm not going to talk numbers about that because we're going to, as Courtney said, we're letting things kind of catch up with one another, and we'll have more information on that later in March. Signed all of our paperwork, and our next meeting will be April 2nd at 11 o'clock. That's all I have.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, Pleasant Township, Becky.
I have no report.
Okay. Squad, Joyce.
We will be meeting March the 12th at 8 o'clock PM.
Great. Fire, Ross.
At our last meeting, we discussed the new engine, which is here. It's in Washington Courthouse, having some final stuff done to it, and then it'll be put into service. There were 26 calls ahead of last year, and unfortunately, we had a longtime retired firefighter named Scott Pike that passed, and a current firefighter named Logan Jester that also passed cancer.
We're very sorry to hear of their loss. Okay, thank you.
So sad to hear.
Water, wastewater, Craig.
Yes. We had invited a resident to come and talk, or come to our meeting, discuss water and wastewater problems they were having. During the meeting, we presented an ordinance that cleared up that issue of wastewater, water, that they could go on, they could be able to connect. There were things that you can do, you couldn't do, but they could still connect, and they're well on their way for that. And that's all I have.
Okay. As Joyce alluded, so we are doing 2 big projects starting this year. One is the water tower. The other one is Spring Street sewer and water improvements. So the schedules for the Spring Street one, we've talked a lot about what the schedules are for for the water tower. I won't get into that. If someone wants to know, we can go back over that. But for Spring Street, we won't know until we get with, currently, the kickoff is sometime in April, mid to late April, so we'll know more about when those improvements are gonna come online over the remainder of the year, starting around in April. So I'll get you an update on that as soon as I have that. That's all I have for water, wastewater. All right, streets, Ross.
We had a meeting today, and we talked about the sheriff's radar signs, where we thought they should go, which we didn't come to any conclusion. We also talked about putting a flashing stop sign at the intersection at the north end of town. And we decided to ask for a motion to take the unnamed alley that is behind Dr. Young's business that he had here in town, and have signs made and have it dedicated to him as Cy Young Way.
Okay.
So currently, just to give you a little bit of backstory, for people that didn't attend the street meeting, the last street meeting, is there was an alley that's behind Doc
Yeah.
Young's office that's not been named. So for those of you, I looked into that as far as going to the recorder's office, and it's not legally named anything, okay? So what they're being asked is that because he is a longtime, contributed to this community, his family, his father, generations before then, it would be good to have a dedication, for that alley in the back. So again, it's just a simple sign that we would have, and then we would go ahead and certify that and send it to the recorder's office.
So you're making a recommendation. Is there a motion for that?
Okay, so that was,
I'll second it. Did Ross make the
No, I
motion?
made the motion.
You made the motion. Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
and
Thank you,
Becky was
Becky.
second. Okay. We'll do a roll call. Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
All right.
Dr. Young's been an icon for years in this town. Goes back during World War II of his father.
Yep, absolutely. Let's see, Parks and Recs. Joyce.
We have not met yet. Our meeting is scheduled for March 12th Park and Rec. Yeah, March 18th at 10 o'clock a.m. However, the one thing I do want to put out here, even though we haven't met yet, the mayor and I have been discussing this, and all of the equipment for movie nights is locked up in an office back there. I have the code, and since Barry's on Park and Rec, I think you have the code, right?
No.
You don't have the code?
Maybe I do, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know, but anyway, I have the code. And what we're doing is we're creating a sign-out sheet for the equipment. I'm in the process of creating that now. Anyone who wants to use the equipment in the village, I know before you've always come in and you've taken it out, and a lot of times we've come in and we don't know where it is, and this is what I'm being told anyway. So we're creating a sign-up sheet. If anyone wants to borrow it, they can come in, they can sign it out with me, and I'll come in and you can take it out. We'll make sure that everything is there. You sign it out, you can use it. I'll come back in, we'll lock it back up. Make sure everything's accounted for. If anything's broken or anything, then you will be responsible for it. Okay? Easy peasy, holds everybody accountable, and that's it in a nutshell. Okay? I am not going to be here, well, I might be here, depending upon when we have the June. If I can get something else, if we move that to another week. I know we had to last year because of the weather, and it worked out just fine. We still had the same amount of people as always, so maybe we can move it to the following week, or the week before. We'll figure it out. Same thing goes when I sign it out to take it to the movie night, I'm accountable for it. So, any questions, let me know.
Okay, good deal. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Record retention.
We
Good.
met Friday morning, and between the dusty papers and stuff, we got through everything, and it's been interesting.
They're starting to smell worse and
Yeah,
worse.
yeah, the smell, yeah. I remember everybody enters the room, we can't help it.
Yeah.
And we're going through so many documents that some have historic values and everything, but it takes time to get through this, and we gotta know what to keep, give a toss. But I gotta give Courtney a lot of credit. She's patient with us, and we get a lot done. And we will be meeting again on the first Friday of April.
Wonderful. All right, nuisance abatement. Barry.
Yeah, we had a meeting tonight, and we're trying to start going through each ordinance and update them as needed. And like I said, if you guys see anything that is in violation of any ordinances, contact the village, and we are on it. So that's it. Our next meeting is April 14th at 6 p.m.
Thank you. All right, planning, Ross.
I don't have anything.
All righty, zoning, Craig.
There was nothing, no zoning.
Okay. Yeah, by the way, for everybody's benefit, those meetings are held when they need to be held, so they're not automatic. Tree beautification, Becky.
Yes, we tried to have a meeting today. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good turnout today. A couple people were unable to attend. So we did still sit, a couple of us here, and talk in public, and we just confirmed things with our Arbor Day event. It's May the 2nd, just made sure everybody knew. Courtney printed us off a new tree ordinance, Arbor Day ordinance, Arbor Day something, what was it?
Agenda?
Yeah.
Agenda and,
Proclamation.
Yep.
yes, thank you. So we appreciate that. But the one thing I did want to ask council about is the grant. The grants came up again. I know you guys tabled it when I was gone. So I'm going to use Alistair's exact words. It's kind of wishy-washy. That was his exact words when he sent me an email. They are still accepting applications, and they're due April the 1st. So, with that said, we need to get one submitted, but once they receive them, they're going to review them and grade them and whatever, and possibly even assign money values, because it could be anywhere from $15,000 to $100,000. We have no idea going in what it will be. And then they said it's still up in the air whether the federal government right now will fund them. So it could all be for nothing, or it could be hurry up and wait. Could be, you know, a year down the road when they release that money. But we still need our application in by the 1st of April, which is just a couple weeks away. So tonight, I just wanted to make a motion to allow us to at least apply. We have several people with more ideas. I know I was asked last week about where we might put some of the trees. They've also talked about entrances to the village. Some trees might be needed there. They've also talked about, and I know we mentioned it, about the tree canopies down Main or Columbus Street. So there are a lot of ideas out there, but basically, like, our committee is gonna have to really, really work really hard and work with Courtney to see if we can get something drawn up and turned in by April the 1st, or we will definitely miss out on it. So I just wanted to make a motion tonight to be allowed to apply. And with that said, I will most graciously come back to council if we were lucky enough to get approved, and say how much it's for, and present our plan that we can get out of that amount of money. And so I just want a motion tonight to go ahead and apply.
Right, so it's the application process. So it's not the plan will have to come after the application has been submitted. So
Would this
looking-
be for the application then, Courtney,
Yeah,
then,
so
basically?
looking at the grant or whatever, you're just writing your thoughts and ideas of what you would like to contribute. So I know Andy's mentioned things, I know in her committee, she's asked some things as far as spreading it throughout the village. So it's not necessarily a plan of saying that the committee is coming to you guys as council and saying this is the plan that they want. This application process is just to apply for it. There are no monies that are gonna be reserved at this level, okay? The only application and the only approval that you're giving is to apply for it, to be put in the running for it. What will happen is, once the applications are submitted, again, depending upon how long it takes them to score them, how long it takes them to approve a plan, they may approve part of what we're asking, or may not approve very little, or maybe approve the most of that we're asking. So you guys will have council, will come back to this council and approve the actual plan. So the committee is going to be responsible for creating a plan and coming back to council for you guys to approve the plan, okay? So just to be clear, this is just a motion to apply for it.
Well, I'll give him that motion
Okay,
then.
well, Becky placed it.
Yeah, Becky, so you're seconding it?
Well, I wanted
I'll
to
second
second
her.
it.
Yeah.
One of us will.
Okay.
Well, we've got two, so Becky's the first.
I think
Oh,
Becky,
don't go
I think
ahead.
Becky put the motion out there. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. David, are you seconding it?
Okay?
You're gonna
Yeah.
second, okay, good.
All right, so Craig? Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Gary?
Yes.
Joyce? Yes. And David?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
again, the deadline will be April the 1st. that the information will be submitted and then come back to you as council.
Thank you very much. And our next meeting, we may have to have another meeting since today's didn't work. So I'm just gonna have to let Courtney know to
Look,
put out
look on
there.
the website.
To be determined.
We'll put it out in the calendar.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. We now turn to ordinances and resolutions, starting with ordinance 2025-04.
Okay, did you want me to read it and then you?
Yes,
speak?
go ahead, and then we'll give you some background.
Okay, so this is ordinance 2025-04. This is an ordinance amending the 2025 budget and making appropriations to the revenues, changes for the current expenses and revenues of the Village of Mount Sterling for Madison County, Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st. This is on the first reading.
So this is in relation to budgeting and handling of project financing for the water tower. And as I have talked to this council and people in the general public about how we are going to go about financing the water tower, I've emphasized over and over, we should not probably be borrowing money for this. It's a very difficult thing. I think we've all learned from the experience building other things here, that when you borrow money, you generally have to have the revenue to pay it back. And I am very concerned about that, and I think people who know me would probably say he's as tight as a rubber band when it comes to spending money. But my point is that we have a part of the project which needs to be paid. The village so far has not contributed any money to this project. We're at a point where we have a choice whether we could borrow money, taking out a very low-interest loan from the US EPA, or we could instead dip into our savings account and use that for its intended purpose, which is large infrastructure projects, and go ahead and fill in the remaining project financing so that residents are not impacted. Courtney and I have sat down with the project coordinator for the better part of 60 days, trying to figure out the best option to propose to you. We talked about this a little bit in water, wastewater. We talked about it a little bit in finance. There is a number of different ways you could do this. The problem is cost and revenue. And how do we best close the gap when it comes to the remaining project cost? And so tonight I am asking for your approval to allocate a pretty good sizable chunk of money from the general fund towards about 35% of the project cost of the water tower. Do you want to comment any more? Have I left anything out by any chance?
No, so, again, like, the mayor was saying is, we already have 7 loans already, okay, for the water tower and other projects that happened before this administration. And in my personal opinion is using our, what we always talk about, carryover, using our savings to pay for this, okay? So this would be that we wouldn't have to take out a loan, we wouldn't have to extend this 30 years because we already have a 30-year loan right now on a water plant, okay? So this is the purpose and the intent to using it. This is the best way to show that we are, it is a required project to be completed, and we do have to pay for it. And instead of taking out loans, the best choice that we would present to council would be to use.
After
some
all the
of our savings.
evaluation, everything on deck, I think the best one is to draw down some of the savings and put it back over time.
And again, the mayor touched a little bit on this too. It's not going back to the residents and asking them for an additional fee, an additional usage on their water bill. So I don't want to alarm that. This is money that we already have, that we've saved over time. So when we talk about when we're in budget seasons, all council's been in there and where to cut, how to cut, what to not buy, what to purchase. This is a reward of what carryover and savings means. And this is what we're doing. We're gonna take it from our savings account and we're gonna put it towards the tower.
So what this means, practically speaking, going forward, is that I'm probably this year, when we go into budget season, I'm going to be asking you to reserve monies to put this money back, so that we don't get in a situation where we run our savings account down and then don't run it back up. So that means that we'll have to consider pretty much everything that goes into that. So I'd like to see that built back up, but if you look at it as the savings account or the rainy day fund, the rainy day fund says you use it when it's raining, and it's raining right now.
And this is the intent. This is the intent of why you would use this type of money.
Absolutely. And so the amount is about $770,000. And that is about, in terms of village contribution for other projects, We run about between 30 and 35% on our village contribution for other projects typically, and that score is pretty much dead on with what general other public works projects score.
And again, adding this money together, and again, if the public does have any questions, obviously, we have it out in a spreadsheet that we.
Broken down
you know,
very specifically by where all of the money is sourced and who is, which organization, and
And the grants
75% of it is
Correct.
grant and no match.
Yes. So no match. And most of those is the HARPA money. Remember during COVID that we reserved for this intent? We also have a grant that we awarded, $44,000 for that. And the Army Corps, which is paying over $900,000 for that.
So that's the backstory to this particular ordinance. This is not an emergency. It should not be an emergency. It needs to be done very thoughtfully, and so that's why this is on a first reading, and we will go until the normal process is completed. So if anyone has any questions, you can reach out to Courtney, to me, to anybody else, and we will get you the information.
I would like to make that motion.
Second.
That was Joyce, Craig?
All right. This is the motion to place on the first reading, so we have motion and seconded.
Yep.
Roll call,
And that
please.
was Joyce, then Craig. Roll call, Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Ross?
Yes.
Barry?
Yes.
Joyce?
Yes.
And David?
Yes.
First reading.
All right, thank you for that. Takes us to roundtable. Comments, thoughts about roundtable tonight?
I just want to I'm glad Joyce reminded everyone about the community center, Spring Bazaar, and Shop Hop, but also that same day at 9:30, if anyone is able to come out, Violet Park's Flower Shop will be having a ribbon cutting at 9:30 a.m., which is just a half hour before the event starts, so it'll be perfect timing to have the ribbon cutting and celebration with her and then go shop. So I just wanted to remind everybody about that.
Such a cute store in there.
It is,
Yes,
it looks
is.
great.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Nice addition to the town.
If you don't know where it is, it's right across the street where,
Hummel and Plum.
Hummel and Plum used to be.
Plum.
Yeah.
Yep.
Caitlin, what time does your spring market start? 9 to 1?
Lots of
Okay.
stuff going on in the village. We like that.
I'm
Love
looking
to see it.
forward
Do you
to
wanna
it, because
come
we're
up
gonna be
and
at yours at
advertise a
9 to
little bit?
1,
Put
but
your
I wanna
punch-
run over
Yeah,
to
this is
Violet
round
Park
table.
at
You can come on down.
9:30.
Yeah, you can come up.
You want
I don't know, do you guys need any
Yeah.
information?
Well, I just.
Is it at your place or is it the park? It's at your place?
Might want to put a little advertisement out there.
Okay.
Heck, yeah.
You need my address
Yes,
and
to
things?
name and address?
Yeah, Caitlin Cole, 25 Autumn Hayes Court. So yes, we're starting, I'm trying to get us kind of amped up for the summer, starting a farmer's market. I know I'm starting early in March, but I'm hoping this weather holds out, it would be great. So we're gonna do that 9 to 1. Right now I do have a sourdough bakery coming. I have candles, I have crochet flowers, all kinds of different stuff. Of course, the produce will come as that comes with the farming. But I have lots of people who are interested. I have some people signed up in April and moving forward. So I really do think this is going to be a nice push just for the whole community to get us out, get us talking, and help those side hustles that we have going on too. So
Absolutely.
If it isn't too late, I think Mr. Phillips is going to be bringing some Christian-themed things, bumper stickers, magnets, a few things. And he can use my table, right?
yeah,
Is
I
that
would assume
okay?
so.
Okay, if you don't,
Yeah,
yeah.
that shouldn't be a
I
problem.
just found out today.
Yeah. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, again, I'm trying to make this very, very chill.
Yeah,
Everything in the paperwork though does say that it has to meet, health code requirements, this,
Yes.
that, and the other, so I have tried to, at least cover my butt on those ends as well.
Absolutely.
Does anyone else have any it is from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm allowing setup to start at 8 a.m. And it's gonna be, parking lot and then walk around and things like that, so it shouldn't cause any traffic trouble or anything like that, so should be good. Oh, is that a new one?
All right. Thank you very, very much. We appreciate that.
Yes, I'm just looking forward to it. Oh, and then also while I'm up here, I also just put out that we're doing a full day summer camp
Oh, even better.
for kids, yes. So I'm really hoping that that is going to get out there as well, so please spread the word. That's going to be, I just put out some information recently, so hopefully I'll get some signage and things like that going.
Is
but
that school-age children?
It
or-
is,
okay.
yep, it's going to be 5 and up for that, and we're going to do all day. I'm hoping we can do some fun things around the village. I've talked to the community center. We are doing, and I've talked to the library. They want to kind of help out. Deer Creek wants to send somebody. So I really have a lot of people. The firehouse, I'm trying to really just bring it home for us, right? For our families and our community. And then lastly, I do have a parents' night out once a month. And that is actually going to be at the community center this month. It's going to be March Madness, so we're going to do a bunch of basketball and fun stuff like that. So definitely trying to get everybody involved, and, you know, keep things fresh, so.
I know, Caitlin, one thing, fresh vegetables, you can't beat them.
Right.
Green beans, stuff.
I'm so
And this
excited.
community, I
Yeah.
go to the one at West Jefferson, and
Uh-huh.
they draw a crowd all the time.
Well, and
So
I go to
this-
Bambi's, right? I mean,
Yeah,
and
so you get that.
I
set
really am
up.
hoping we can get some of that good, healthy produce for us, right? For our family, yeah. So that's my main goal, because I'm all about just
Yeah.
being healthy and happy, so.
Yeah. Congratulations,
I
Caitlin.
appreciate it. Thank you,
All
guys.
right,
Great
thank
job.
you.
Thank you. Thank
Other
you for what you
comments
do
for
the
roundtable
village.
tonight? Other comments? Other comments? Okay, if that's it, then we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. We will
Great.
catch you the next go-around.
Fantastic.
I get a kick out of when they always talk